buyers to homeowner, then as an investor, and then also to careers in real estate, right? So it kind of gives you just the basics, the foundation to each, and some points, and then we'll have a question and answer session with that. So, I mean, black's cool, but maybe blue. We'll start with blue. So we're gonna, guess if I've already. So, first thing we're gonna talk about is credit. And then we're just going to cover a couple pointers on it and make sure it was clear. We'll talk about how you can establish credit and other tips and pointers. So, credit. I teach this even in high schools through our program about the homeowners. And what credit is the ability to make payments over time and on time, right? So, a lot of times we're fooled and we're scared away from credit cards or loans. And what the problem is, we can't misuse credit. That's the problem, misuse credit. But if you use credit properly, you can use credit to your advantage. You can use credit to leverage it for more success, especially owning in real estate. So, as an example, if I were to give you $100, right? Someone were to get $100, and I loaned you $100, and you pay me back tomorrow, is that establishing credit? No. But if you pay me back $20 a week for 5 weeks, now we've had payments made over a time period, right? So a lot of times we might have cash, we may be cash poor, but we may be cash rich, but credit poor. So a lot of times with cash, you really can't do the things that you really want to do in life because you haven't built that credit to get people to really give you a substantial amount of money to really want to do. So in credit, we're going to talk about, so that was our definition, right? And then we're going to talk about one of the main things in real estate when it comes to credit is your FICO score, right? Anyone familiar with this? Your FICO. What's your FICO? Somebody tell us. What's your FICO score? Anybody? What is that? Your middle credit score, right? So how we define our FICO, your middle score, everyone has 3 credit scores. From TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. You'll have 3 credit scores. Now when you print your credit report out, or you put it up online, your scores are going to be in a certain order, right? Now your middle score is your FICO score, right? So your FICO is your middle score. This is not the one that reads out in the middle whenever you print the credit report out. That's not your FICO. It's not the average of all your scores. That's not your FICO. But the simplest way, again, not to treat you guys like children, but the simplest way, I teach this to kids through our financial literacy program. The easiest way to understand your FICO score, your middle score, not ever get confused, is to take your highest credit score and take your lowest credit score and throw them out. When you print your report out, take the highest score you got and the lowest score you got, and you throw those away. Then you're left with your middle, right? So your FICO is a score. So for instance, if we had, say, we print your credit report out, we got a 680. We have a 690, and let's say we have, you print it out also, and you have a, let's say 676, right? So you print your report out, right? You have 3 bureaus, you have 3 scores coming out. So a lot of times we'll think, okay, well, this has to be my middle, it's in the middle. But what's the highest score here? 690, right? And then our low score?
676.
And then we got our FICO. Just take your high score, lowest score, cross them out, left with your middle score. That's your FICO score. This is the score that mortgage companies and banks are going to use to base off you qualify for a loan to get a house. This is all important right here. There's so many different ways for you to be able to raise your FICO score and build your credit. Sometimes you get a lot of people that you'll pull your credit, you get this. You get 3 scores, and they say this. You know what that means? Right, it doesn't apply. Meaning you have no credit. There's been times as a loan officer, and I manage 2 mortgage branches, where you pull someone's credit and they have none. They just their whole life buy stuff cash or put it on other people's names. They never establish credit for themselves. It's not happening. So then you have to get into, well, how do you establish credit? Start from scratch, right? You got this. Sometimes we have this issue, And then sometimes we have this issue, where your credit score is low, right? So the credit scores go from, I believe it's 350 to 800. Maybe 850. Yeah, 850. Right? So right now you qualify for a mortgage typically with FHA around 500. And 500's mid to high 500, even 600 credit score, right? Sometimes you'll have a low credit score or no credit score. So I'm going to give you a couple of points on both of these. Now, we'll go into we'll start with the no credit factor. You guys can take notes as we go. I'll have you erasing stuff as we go. See, so, key, right? So in my book, Hip Hop to Homeowners, and it's going to be for sale at Fast this week, but it's also for free on my website, jaymorrison.net. Get the ebook, my ebook for free. In my book, I talk about secure credit cards. This is being one of the fastest secure credit cards or loans. This is one of the fastest ways to be able to build your credit from even bad, or especially from none, or even if it's decent to higher, a way you can build your credit, establish credit, especially if you have none, right? Because it's like, who wants to give you something you haven't ever did it before? So we secure that and ensure that is you go to a bank, you ask for a secure credit card or secure loan. It's not something I read it in the book, but then I did it myself at age 23 or 24. And it really worked. And I teach people now, I get so many testimonials about the score from 100 points to 70 points. So what you do is a real simple concept. Go to a bank, you give them what you, 200, 300, 400, 1,000, 2,500, or you figure amounts coming from you can give a bank that money. So say you go to a bank. What I did, I went to the Bank of America, and I needed 2,600 of Commerce Bank in Jersey, give 1,000, right? So say you give the bank $1,000, right? Go in. Or this could be, you say, well, I got $1,000, Jay. Well, you give 200, right? Either way, you're going to give the bank your money, you're going to put it in a CD, right? That's it. So you want to bank, so I want to secure credit card, secure loan. They're going to say, okay, we're going to give your application, you approve for it, they're going to take your money, they're going to put it in the CD in interest. So your money's going to sit in the bank, getting interest. But that same day or that same week, depending on the bank, they're going to loan you back this money right back to you, same exact money. It's going to come back to you. So you're not going to lose anything. So not only does your money go in a CD and get interest, it comes back to you in a loan. So the bank will loan you or give you a credit card for the same limit you gave them. And now you're going to make payments over time on the credit card or on a loan. And I'm explaining to you how you use a credit card properly. So if you get the loan, what you do is if you get the loan, I didn't elaborate on this much. You guys are one of the first ones to really hear it. Is the first thing you do with the loan is you pay half off, right? So the bank loans you back your same $1,000, right? It's a loan. Cash a check of your own money and pay the bank back off $500 on your own money, right? So now you cut your loan in half. So now when you get your credit report, it's not going to show a $1,000 loan and you owe $1,000, right? In 30 days, it's going to show you went to a bank, you have a $1,000 limit of loan that you got, but you only owe $500. So you already gave a margin which starts to increase your score because you're not maxed out in your loan, right? So you immediately become unmaxed out in your loan by paying half of your loan, right? And then you just make payments, time it out for about a year. You can make it however you want to make it, minimum payments, a couple $100, whatever you want to do, but make sure you spread it out till you're not paying it off early. You don't want to pay off in 9 months, 10 months. Give yourself a year of consistent payments, and that will boost your credit scores no matter what. Like you can do multiple versions of this. You can do one, or you can do 3 banks. You can do 3 banks. Same thing. So now here's the great part. So I'll go to the credit card portion, right? So then on the credit card portion, you'll have your credit card for $1,000. This will be your limit. And what I teach in using a credit card the most responsible way is called divide by 3, right? So divide by 3 rule is you take the maximum limit of your credit card, you divide it by 3, and that's your new maximum. go over that limit. That'll keep your credit card at a third of your balance. So I know 1,000 is not an even number, but just for the sake of being approximate, you divide 1,000 by 3, you get 300, 333, right? That's your maximum on this credit card right here. So if this was a $3,000 credit card, secured card, which all the thing you're ever going to use is $1,000. You divide 3,000 by 3, $1,000 your credit limit. That'll keep you from ever going to that third balance. But you still want to use it, right? You want to actively use your credit card. You can pay it down if you want, keep a little balance still. You always want to have a balance. Because you don't want to show you just paying stuff off. And then it shows you have cash. You haven't really got credit history. So you keep a balance, but you don't go over a third of your max credit limit. Now here's the great part. So you do this over a year. I did both. When I went to I did both. That's a secured loan and secured credit card. Try both. When you pay off this loan, right? Remember, it was a loan to you. So when you pay off this loan, they're going to release your money back to you. You know, pay this off the whole time. So you got money, you paid half off, or you can spend another $500. Now you pay this loan off, your CD comes back to you with interest, the money you started with. So now you built credit over a year and left the bank with $1,100 now instead of $1,000. Now you've made one of your money while you built your credit. Two birds, one stone. Same thing with the credit card. You can use this for as long as you want. And when you're done with your credit card and you turn it back in, they'll release your CD with your interest again. So you use the credit card for over a year, build your credit up, build your FICO score up, and then left with the same money. You didn't lose anything. And you use your credit card responsibly by dividing by 3. But that's just the easy way, the sure way to be able to build your credit. Start from nothing or start from your credit being able to boost. Now, one thing in this, you may go to a bank and they turn you down. You may go to 2 or 3 banks and they turn you down. Go to a credit union, go to a smaller bank, go to a bigger bank. And you keep applying. A lot of people go 1 time, 2 times, no, it didn't work. Now, I'm just going to give up. They don't want it. That's part of the issue too, is that we don't push hard enough with what really matters. Right? When it's going to get our kids Christmas gifts or something, we bust all kind of moves and we go to Google, eBay, and you want to cut somebody's arm off for something they're going to forget about on New Year's. But when it comes to something that's going to be substantial for your family and help you build a legacy and build wealth, you don't fight hard enough for it. So you do everything you have to do to get established your credit, because credit is going to lead you into step 2. It's going to open up your whole playing field when your credit has been, your credit score has been raised, your FICO score has been raised, and you prove the credit history. So that's the short on that. And then when you go into credit repair, I don't do credit repair, right? But what I always recommend, and I have an online academy called the Jay Morrison Academy. And April 1st, I just hired an instructor named Ash Cash out of New York. He's going to be teaching a credit mastery class on how to fix your credit. I do have chapters in my book on how to delete or dispute credit. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. Everyone can get their credit score for free, their credit report for free at annualcreditreport.com or freeannualcreditreport.com. And you can pull your credit up. You can dispute right from there any issues that are inaccurate with credit. But one thing I always recommend also as a tip is in a lot of communities, there are credit counseling agencies that will work with you for free or for cheap to help repair or restore your credit if you have credit issues. So before you go to the big companies to spend thousands of bucks, look at a local credit counseling agency or even dispute things yourself at freeannualcreditreport.com. So that's how, so we talk about our 4 things. I think I'm going to name them. So my blueprint starts with credit, what you do with it. Then 2 goes into ownership. I'm tall, right? Then 3 goes into investing in real estate. And then 4, you guys see this blue? Cool. And then 4, we go into careers in real estate. And that's like, this is like my millionaire blueprint. Like, I really feel like, this is for me, that everyone want to do this part, the careers in, maybe it's not for everyone, maybe even being an investment investor is not for everyone, but everyone in the world should be doing these 2. Like, there's no reason why your credit's not good, you're not always working on it. And my credit's been jacked up. I've lost houses, I had short sales, foreclosures, bankruptcy, it's life. But I'm constantly trying to build and fix, and right, so that's what we do. It's always about progression. So these 2, everybody needs to do, regardless. Like, there's no reason you should go through life and not be a homeowner. Especially you guys in Cleveland. I mean, these houses are like a pair of sneakers. Like, really. I mean, for a $100,000 house, 3.5% down you can purchase through FHA. That's $3,500. You can work at McDonald's for 6 months and save $3,500. It's not a lot of money to buy a house. You just don't prioritize it. You don't prioritize it. That's the only reason why our community is dead last out of homeowners of all races in America. It's not important to us. Right? So, there's some other issues I would say. I mean, we had a lot of land stolen from us and other things. Yes, that's be a whole nother seminar. But credit and homeownership. So we get to the homeownership piece. Like, okay, Jay, well, how I become a homeowner, right? So the first thing is so simple. It's like, all right, if you want to own a home, you know you're going to need financing. Unless you have cash, right? Go into a financing company. Go into a mortgage company. So the first thing we talk about the homeownership piece. Most of it is just effort, really. It's not like homeownership is like not even that complicated. It's not even something to really say. The first thing is you want to get what you call pre-qualified or pre-approved, right? You want to find out you're qualified. Or what do you have to do to get qualified? It's like physical, right? You want to go get a job, you want to play a sport, you want to get physical, you want to see if your body is qualified to play the sport. Or they want to see if your credit and your finances are qualified to find this house. You go into a bank or mortgage company, no matter what you think the situation is, a lot of times the fear, this is what stops this right here, first. Not even so much the ignorance or being a novice or none of that, mostly it's fear. You don't want to know what they got to say. You don't want to hear the no, you're not ready yet. You don't want to hear the no, you don't make enough, no, your credit's not good enough. What you forgot could be a yes, you're qualified. You're so focused on what it might not be instead of what it could be. Right? So even if you go to get pre-qualified and the bank says, you know what, you are the worst candidate I've seen in 3 years. All right, cool. Well, how do you make it the best one? Work backwards. You go in, ask to any mortgage company or any bank will pre-qualify you for free. If they ask to charge you, go to another. But some have application fees. You don't need to pay an application fee to get a loan. There's plenty of mortgage companies or banks that will do it for free. When you go in and they'll pull your credit, you're going to ask for your W-2s. If you're self-employed, for your 1099s, they're going to ask how much you're making a year, or if you're coming out of college sometimes, you don't even have to have a job history. All you're going to have is a promise of employment for whatever career you graduated in. So they'll determine that. All you do is be present and hand them everything they ask for. Your social, your driver's license, whatever they ask for, you give them. Right? A reputable bank or mortgage company. I'm talking to Joe Schmo on the street who pulled up the van and said, I'm pre-qualified. Right? And he was like, Jay told me no, I didn't tell you that. So whatever they ask for you to give them, this process will help you work done. This is the process. Because you fill in the blanks. You fill in the whole, even for me. If I want to go buy a $10 million building, I go get qualified for it. Here's my partners. We have $3 million. We want to get a $10 million loan. What do we do from here? What do you need from me? Well, Jay, I need to see as much an asset. I need to see this. I need to see that. Okay, well, let me start producing. What I don't have, let me work on. And then if I can't do it, let me go to phase 2. So getting pre-qualified is the first phase. But if you've been working on your credit and understand my credit principles, you put yourself in a good position here. Or if there's credit issues here, you know what to do next. So if you pull your credit and everything says NA, not applicable, then you know, hey, I got to start establishing credit for myself. Or sometimes they'll take non-traditional trade lines, right? So on your credit report, they're called trade lines. Your credit card, your car loans, your student loans, anything that shows your credit is called a trade line. Sometimes you end up having trade lines, which we have car insurance you've been paying for years. Light bills you've been paying for years with your name. Cell phone bills you've been paying for years with your name. Sometimes banks will take those non-traditional trade lines and qualify you also, even if it doesn't show your credit report. But they'll tell you that if you go to get this part. You understand this. So I want to just ask, get a couple of opinions. Why is it important to be a homeowner? What are the benefits? Why? Anybody? You can build equity. Who's that? Tax benefits. Anybody else? Wealth creation. Make money. Home for your family. Roof over your head. That's a good reason to be a homeowner. Stop the rain. What else? Anybody else? It's an asset. So there's tons of reasons. We talk about equity. Equity is the appreciation of your home. Equity is the amount over what you owe the bank that your home is worth. You owe the bank $100,000, but your house is worth $105,000, you have $5,000 equity. If 10 years later, the house is worth $150,000, you owe the bank now $90,000, you're paying it off, you have $60,000 equity. That equity can be leveraged. Leverage meaning that you can go to a bank with a loan on that equity, pull some money out, pay for your kids' college, maybe get another property, open your own business, whatever you want to do. You can refinance, get a whole lot of credit on it, or you can sell a property and cash in on it. Or you can just let it build. Right? Equity is part of why real estate is an asset, as someone else said. Also, maybe you move out and you can rent the house out. Or maybe you're not interested in investing, you just want to own, and the gentleman said, you got a roof over your head now. But it's your roof. When you're renting, that's not your roof. That's the person you're renting from you. Which is why what I call, in my book, is a phrase I coined called, when you own an investment property, someone's renting from you, you're a lord of your land. You're the lord of your land. You're the owner. And it's funny how I came up with this was when I was 25. I was going to a property of mine, right? So I'm 25, maybe 26, and I'm just coming out of the streets, and I don't know if maybe you know my story or not, but like a 10-year run in the streets, like I was some gangster or something. But, and made myself a lot of trouble. But, coming out of the streets, one of my first properties was a 2-family house. I was renting out both sides, one to my friend and one to an older lady. She's probably in her mid-40s. And so I'm coming from the gym one day, got my Range Rover, got my blue Yankee fitted on tilt, I'm backwards, and my sweats on, I'm playing Lil Wayne, and I'm driving up, and I'm getting out the car, and her kids are playing in the front. This is a true story. And it's like, it's just 2 young white girls, and my sister, black, my friend, and a white lady, her kids, right, Tracy. And the kids are like, the landlord's here, the landlord's here. They're like scrambling around and getting the toys off the lawn, and I'm like, that's me. 25-year-old Jay Morrison is the landlord. I'm the lord of my land. I had a 2-family house with 4 acres of land. I owned it. Deed under my name. Belonged to me. I had a piece of the earth. And that's where it sunk in. The pride of homeownership, that feeling. That's the part that a lot of people, until you own, most homeowners realize that when they close in their house. That feeling of ownership, of owning something, it's the most substantial piece of anything you can own on this earth. Other than like a huge diamond or some gold or something. I mean, it's like the earth's biggest asset. The earth is real estate. That's nothing I'm talking about. We undervalue how important real estate is in the world. The world is real estate. That's what it is. This library is real estate. These bumpy roads full of potholes, they're owned by the city. But it's real estate owned by the city. The place of worship you go to tomorrow is real estate. The office you go to on Monday is real estate. The McDonald's I got my coffee from is real estate. The factory these markers are made in is real estate. Everything out here is real estate. It's just what part of the game are you going to play in? Are you just going to be the customer, the renter, or are you going to be the owner? Somebody bought this library because it made sense, or the county or the city did it because of whatever arrangement they have where it made sense. Real estate makes sense for some. That building right there, someone owns. Somebody owns everything. Every piece of everything you see, somebody owns it. It's just who's owner and how they benefit. Whether it's a roof over their head, whether it's investment, whether it's tax benefits, whether it's gaining equity. All that's real estate. That's why this is so important. So that feeling of being a lord of my land became infectious to me. It's like contagious. It's like I like this. And not only, this is something that a lot of us don't know, not only do you own the land on the home you buy, you own the air above it. You have the air rights. In New York, they sell air rights. Those big skyscrapers, people sell air. Square footages of air. For hundreds, even thousands of dollars a square foot for air. The right to own this air. That's dope. That's hot. You own air. I own air on earth. I'm a man. And that's what I learned because me being a young boy coming out of the streets, we thought the man was being in the club, staying on couches, popping bottles. You own a bottle for 40 minutes before you in your place drinking. It's done. You just spent $700 for a bottle for $40 to show off. Well, you could be out here on an air. That's what I want. I'm on air. The more air I own, the better. The air will be handy one day. And the land. And the minerals under it. And whatever else comes on it. That's all you. That's where this home ownership piece becomes so vital, so crucial. Not only that, it begins to build family legacy and family wealth. Imagine, like, you see these $20,000 properties, $10,000 properties, $30,000 properties. I mean, there's just land in Mississippi and South Carolina for $1,000 an acre. Imagine just sitting on that. Imagine just taking $1,000 before you go do something foolish with it and go and buy a random acre of land in West, wherever, and just sit on it. Give it to your kids. Here, baby, Daddy got your acre of land in Mississippi. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but give it to your daughter. Let her give it to her daughter. And somewhere, some Morrison, somewhere, 4 generations from now, that $1,000 acre is going to be a $100,000 acre. Think about it. I thank my great-great-granddaddy for being Mr. Real Estate and passing this on. God's not making no more land. He who owns most land wins. We're going to keep making babies. We're going to keep taking drugs and living longer. The good drugs, the ones that keep us alive. But we're just not getting no more land. That's the power. This is where we start leveraging as a community, is the home ownership piece. And it's how you get there to start not getting pre-qualified. Then once you get pre-qualified, right? So you get pre-qualified from a mortgage company or a bank. Then you go into looking for your property. You find you a realtist or realtor, real estate agent. And I have videos on YouTube on how you find a good real estate agent, or you interview a real estate agent. Another thing, when you go through this process of finding a real estate agent to find your home, that agent works for you. Don't feel like they're no more than you, that you're now a subordinate. They're there to teach you, they're there to guide you, they're there to work for you. That's the agent's job, is to be your eyes and ears. So your real estate agent will help you find a home in your price range you're pre-qualified for, and to the standard of what you want. For me, for those who can do it, I always recommend considering a 2-family house for one of your first houses, a duplex or triplex. Because it may not be your dream home. That's another thing. We always want to be at Z, and we never went to elemental P. We didn't go through H and J. We want to be at Z. Sometimes your dream home, the mansion, the estate, the pool, and all that, might be 3 houses away from you. It may not be right now. You got to play chess, not checkers. Maybe the best move for you, maybe it's not the most comfortable, right? Mm-hmm. So right now you live in an apartment that somebody else owns. Oh. Okay. Right. So right now you live in an apartment that somebody else owns, right? And you cool with that. You cool with paying this person money every month for them to pay off their mortgage, put that money in their pocket so that their family can have legacy, and you get no tax benefits off your rent, no equity, no asset, and nothing to pass along. You're okay with that. But you won't sacrifice, you'll live in that apartment, but you won't sacrifice to buy a 2-family house and live in one side of that and live in your own apartment. It may not be your dream home, but guess what? You're renting out the other side. And now you're living for free or for cheap as you stack up more money to save for your next property, your next move. So it looks like this. So you go in, trust me, I was there. I had the money to get the house I wanted, but I didn't want. I was trying to make a strategic move. Now I got a 2-family, right? So I'm living in one side, and I rent this side out for $900. And now my mortgage is, say, $900, breaking even. Even say if my mortgage was $1,300. Would you live in your own apartment, your own asset for $400 a month? Yeah. I did. Your mortgage might be $700. And now you're making $200 a month while you live. May not be the house of your dreams though. But we're getting there. You have to start with crawl, walk, run. Right? So you start here, get your feet wet, understand what the closing process is like. You get your 2-family house, you're renting this out, you're living for cheap, understanding it. But now you can eye your second property. And now, if you want to be aggressive, you can get multiple houses, right? which is what I teach, but even we're just going to a smaller approach. So just say for the average family person, now you get into your single family house and say, you know what? All right, now I want to chill out. This house, I'm going to both out for $900 now. And now I'm making $1,800 a month. And just say, minus my mortgage, which is $700. Now I'm making $1,100 a month profit. And now my single family house, the house of my dreams, or close to the house of my dreams, now I have $1,100 going towards that out of my asset, plus what I make in my job. This gets easier. You really get strategic. You can make this a two-family too, or look at this, making this an investment, your rental income here, and then you go into your third. Maybe your dream house not to your third house, or maybe not even to your fourth house. But all the while you're about building assets. It's all about the end game, right? Like I said, we always want to get to Z, but it's a long haul, it's a long race. So maybe it might take you 10 years to get here, right? 10 years before you actually got to the point to get your dream home, your big old mansion, your 7 bedrooms. But was it worth it? Then walk away with 4 assets that are income producing. Maybe none of these houses, maybe each house you upgrade a little, but they weren't exactly what you wanted, weren't the ideal, the patio, the lawn, everything that you wanted. But is it worth it to you and your family to have sacrifice? You'll go to work every day and work for somebody else for 40 hours a week to help them build their company, their asset. You'll rent everything in the world, but you won't sacrifice for your own future. Sometimes you gotta take the hit. Also, that you can build these assets. Every one of these has tax advantages, tax write-offs. Every one of these can be income producing. Every one of these gains equity. Not only do you get the rental income for every unit, remember, every year, each one of these houses typically goes up in value. Every year.